K&N air intake system is designed to increase power and acceleration by reducing restriction in the intake path. K&N 77-9031-1KP air intake has an attractive chrome-like tube finish and a large heat shield for routing cooler air into the engine. It fits 2007 to 2011 Toyota Tundra models with 5.7-liter engines and 2008 to 2011 Toyota Sequoia models with 5.7-liter engines. The 77-9031-1KP comes with K&N's famous million-mile limited warranty. It is not legal for highway use in California or other states adopting California emission standards. Check knfilters.com for an up-to-date list of models this air intake fits and for a list of other CARB adoption states. K&N power testing showed an estimated power gain of 13.4 horsepower at 5,142 RPM with the 77-9031-1KP air intake installed on a 2007 Toyota Tundra with a 5.7-liter engine. Actual results will vary depending on the condition of the vehicle, mileage, weather, and other variables. With the stock intake installed, we ran the vehicle on the dyno to test the sound comparison versus the stock intake. The intake system includes components that have been designed or matched to the needs of these vehicles to produce a safe horsepower increase. Detailed installation instructions are included with this kit. The tools needed for this install are shown. Turn the ignition off and disconnect the vehicle's negative battery cable. Lift the front of the engine cover up, then unhook it from the rear. Remove it from the vehicle. Disconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection. Unhook the wiring harness from the airbox. Disconnect the crankcase vent hose from the factory intake tube. Disconnect the fuel pressure regulator vent hose from the factory intake tube. Loosen the hose clamp that secures the factory intake tube to the throttle body. Loosen the two bolts that secure the airbox to the inner fender. Remove the complete stock intake assembly from the vehicle. Install the large edge trim onto the heat shield. Some trimming of the edge trim may be necessary. Install the small edge trim into the hole of the heat shield. Install the large L bracket onto the heat shield using the provided hardware and spacers. 2 spacers are to be installed between the bracket and the heat shield. Do not completely tighten at this time. Install the 3-bend bracket onto the heat shield with the provided hardware and spacers. 1 spacer is to be installed between the bracket and the heat shield. Do not completely tighten at this time. On vehicles equipped with a security system horn, remove the bolt that secures the horn to the inner fender. Install the small L bracket onto the inner fender using the provided hardware. On vehicles equipped with the security system horn, the L bracket is to be installed over the horn bracket. Install the tube mounting bracket onto the heat shield using the provided hardware. Place a rubber mounted stud between the heat shield and bracket. Do not completely tighten at this time. Remove the bolt that secures the ground strap to the inner fender. Set the heat shield into position on the inner fender. Then secure the front mounting bracket to the front airbox mounting location with the provided hardware. Secure the rear lower mounting bracket to the ground strap location by placing the ground strap between the bracket and the inner fender with the provided hardware. Secure the rear heat shield bracket installed in step 14A to the heat shield with the provided hardware. A spacer is to be placed between the heat shield and the bracket. Remove the 2 bolts that secure the mass air sensor into the stock air filter housing. Then remove the mass air sensor. Install the mass air sensor into the K&N intake tube using the provided hardware. Install the provided NPT fittings into the intake tube. Install the silicone hose onto the throttle body and secure it with the provided hose clamp. Install the intake tube into the silicone hose at the throttle body. and align it with the bracket installed on the heat shield. Align the tube and heat shield, then tighten the heat shield and secure the intake tube with the provided hardware. Connect the factory fuel pressure vent hose to the K&N intake tube. Install the provided hose mender into the provided crankcase vent hose. Connect the hose mender from the crankcase vent hose assembly into the factory crankcase vent hose and secure it with the factory spring clamp. Then connect the opened end to the intake tube. Install the air filter adapter into the K&N air filter and secure it with the provided hose clamp. Install the provided silicone hose onto the air filter adapter and secure it with the provided hardware. Install the K&N air filter assembly onto the intake tube and secure it with the provided hose clamp. Reinstall the engine cover onto the engine. Reconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection. Reconnect the vehicle's negative battery cable. Ensure everything is tight and properly positioned before starting the vehicle. It will be necessary for all K&N high-flow intake systems to be checked periodically for realignment, clearance, and tightening of all connections. Failure to follow the above instructions may void the warranty. K&N makes products for nearly every vehicle on the road. The K&N website allows you to search products by vehicle or dimension, download installation instructions, view dyno charts showing estimated horsepower gains for this product, and view product details. For information on where to buy K&N products, go to knfilters.com.